probably the biggest news in our lives. Let's face it. We had temperatures almost 60 degrees.
It was a tease.
It was a tease. And all the snow that had buried us over the last, since November is gone. It's all gone. And
it's not all gone. There's people still skiing up at Pine Knob.
Well, they cheat a little bit. They have machines up there. But, there's a little phenomenon every spring. And we're not quite at spring, but we did have our thaw. It's like, the backyard, it's like low tide. It's like spring's low tide because there are things sort of strewn about. There's Christmas lights, I'm ashamed to say. There's sort of sleds. There's when the snow goes away, it reveals all the stuff that have been left there for the last 6 months.
Yeah, you know what I loved? I loved when I drove by the house and the wreath that we should have taken down 2 months ago was it threw itself from the house. It was so sick of being on the house. It threw itself into the shrubs.
It was
and then
windy.
This giant red bow was sticking out of the shrubs. It was really pretty pathetic.
It was a bit of a monument to procrastination, wasn't it? Exactly. It threw itself from the house. It's pretty good. Yeah, there's all kinds of things strewn about under the snow, and spring's low tide brings a little. Although we probably are going to get another blanket, aren't we?
Oh, for sure.
We're not done.
At least snow, probably some ice.
Yeah.
Nasty temps. It's going to be ugly for a little while longer.
Listen, it is still winter, which means that we're all pretty much indoors. And one thing that's going to change indoors is our lights. Did you know that? Our light bulbs.
Oh, the light bulb.
They want to. Federal law is going into place, and a lot of people are kind of just dismissing this. But the incandescent light bulb, Thomas Edison's famous light bulb that we've all grown up with, 130 years it's been around. It's being phased out. In
lieu of the that hideous fluorescent light that
LEDs,
makes every woman cringe.
LEDs, or what's called CFLs, which are compact fluorescent lights. So those lights in industrial spaces and in stores that everybody hates, they found a way to shrink them down and put them in your homes.
But do they here's my only question. Have they softened that light? Have
No.
they learned to... Oh.
No. And in fact...
So we're going to be stuck with this harsh light?
Yes.
I'm light sensitive.
Yes.
My eyes can't take it.
And obviously the reasons given are environmental.
Of course.
They use less energy. They last longer, according to their proponents. And, the federal government passed a law starting now, they're no longer allowed to be made, these old 100-watt, incandescent light bulbs. But literally, I believe it was yesterday or it was sometime this week, Senator Jim DeMint, it was a Republican from South Carolina, joined forces with a Wyoming senator, Mike Enzi, to introduce, and these are my favorite, when they make they introduce the Better Use of Light Bulbs, or the Bulb Act.
That's cheesy.
BULB.
That's government cheesiness.
The legislation is designed to repeal the light bulb standards Congress introduced in 2007. They want people to be able to choose. They want the marketplace to choose which kind of light bulbs they want.
I agree.
They don't want the federal government deciding how we're going to light up our faces.
Amen.
Each morning.
Women across America will not stand for this.
Jim DeMint is out of South Carolina. Mike Enzi is in Wyoming. And if you're interested in saving Thomas Edison's famous incandescent light bulb and your own sanity in your home, give them a call or write to them at their offices or email and let them know that you support what they're doing.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm all for what they're doing. I'll be writing a letter. So there's another story in the news that I wanted to talk about because it just caught my eye. Did you hear about the girl wrestler?
Oh yeah.
Who was, I guess she'd made it to the tournament
in Iowa,
to the big championship, right? And the boy in the first round that she was supposed to compete against defaulted from the event rather than wrestle a girl.
Yes.
He said, based on his religious beliefs, that he was going to default.
He said,
the race.
I think he said that because of the nature of the sport, it's a combat sport. Mm-hmm. And
his coach said that, yeah.
Yeah, it would go against his own personal beliefs and his faith.
Yeah. What do you think about that? I'm a girl, and I want to say, give the girls their equal time and these things. But I guess I feel, can't the girls have their own wrestling league?
There are some states that have that. There are some high school federations that provide girl wrestler leagues.
My guess is there aren't enough girls. Yeah. I was going to say there's probably just not enough girls.
I'll give you some personal experience. I was on the golf team back in high school, among basketball and football, et cetera. But I played on the golf team, and this was back in the 70s. Heaven help me. Don't say anything.
Yes, it's official. In fact,
and not the 1870s, Gina.
For this, I'm going to go. You're old. It's official.
Listen, so this was only a few years after Title IX took effect, and I was matched up on one occasion in a league meet against a girl, and it was a very girly girl. I mean, she had like a purple golf bag, and she had the poofy socks, and it was a very girly girl. And
we got to look good, honey.
Trust me. Please. This was probably 1978 or 79. The pressure that I was under was unbearable.
Did you beat this girl?
I beat her senseless.
Oh. Well, golf, I think, is a little bit more. I mean,
I did luckily
win. Physical contact. I mean, the wrestling thing.
I showed her no mercy.
Oh God, are you proud of yourself? Really? Are you a big man? Come on, what's the matter with you?
It was a tremendous relief. I don't think that was. I don't think this kid was. This kid is a state-ranked wrestler, and this girl had about a 500 record, a little better. And I don't think he was worried about losing like I was, but. I think his convictions were deeper than that, and I understand them. Wrestling is certainly a different sport than almost any other.
Well, and she did go on in the competition and ended up getting beat twice in a row. And I think according to the reports, she was pretty emotional about those losses. But I think they were to be expected. And boys are naturally physically stronger, even in the same weight class. They're going to be. Genetics.
And, don't we as parents, aren't we literally spending all of our waking moments trying to keep high school boys and girls from wrestling each other? Is that me or,
Yeah, that's our primary goal in life.
And I think I've shown remarkable restraint, not asking,
What's the question you want to ask?
Was she attractive?
Oh, please.
Because, honey, I've been a high school boy. I've been a high school athlete, and, I don't know if that factors in.
That's enough. We got to get to the round table.